Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to be going from 0 to Farcaster Frames V2 in just 60 minutes. I'm here today with the incredible Song a Day man, who's been writing a song a day for over 17 years, and Dylan Steck, who's the mastermind behind With Cortex and Farhat. Let's build something epic right now. Happy Friday. I'm going to pass this over to Song a Day man so that you can get us caught up on what you've been building as the musician who's going to be cooking, and Dylan's going to kind of be the shepherd, the expert on Frames V2 to help guide the musician towards understanding. How you doing today, Mr. Man?
I'm doing great. Thank you, sweet man. And thank you for doing this. And thank you for all that you've been doing in this space. It's really inspiring to see so many musicians cooking, as you put it. I love that terminology too. So I've been cooking quite a bit with Cursor as of late. And I was just saying to you folks, to these guys, that like, I think somehow something about trying to deal with frames particularly, but even Farcaster in general has like reached my limit of what I feel like I can do alone with Cursor. And I don't know exactly why that is. Maybe through this process, I'll start to understand, oh, there's some aspect of this that I'm like not grokking in the way that I need to get Cursor to do what I need it to do. But I've tried like 3 or 4 or 5 times to make this frame, and I got pretty far yesterday, and then I just fell down and it totally stopped working. So the basic frame that I want to make is something that is essentially like my website. So on Song a Day World, oh no, right, how do I change that? Press H. There we go. On songaday.world, which is my website, you have the video. You can bid on the song. You can bid using whatever ETH that you want. The way that it works here is like when you bid, automatically an edition is sent to you on Base. And then if you want, you can also just click this button, which takes you to mint the edition just on its own. And essentially, like this is the frame that I'm wanting to build. And so I had imagined like before I really understood what V2 was, which happened yesterday when I really sort of grokked it and understood what that is specifically, I was imagining the frame where it would just be like the video and then like 2 buttons or like 2 little things underneath it where it'd be like, you know, bid and or mint an edition. And then you would just see the video and you would do those actions. And then Dylan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but what I realized yesterday is you can't actually have a video in especially in like a V1 frame. There's no way to put a video in a V1 frame situation. Is that right?
But with these V2 frames, so what I'm thinking is if you have the code, we could basically make your exact website as it already is a V2 frame, which is pretty cool.
That is,
but V1, it wasn't. Yeah.
So that's exactly what I'm imagining. So the place that I got to yesterday, sort of with Cursor's help, is like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like the way that these the way that these show up in the Farcaster timeline is the way a V2 frame shows up in the Farcaster timeline is there's something that there's like an image and a button, and then you click that button and it brings up the V2 frame, which is like a little app that pops up inside of Farcaster. That's essentially the model. Is that more or less right?
And 2 other cool things you can do is you can add it. There's like a dedicated frames homepage, like mini app page where all those can live.
Right.
And you can also send notifications. So let's say someone is bidding on one of your editions, but someone else outbids them. You can send them notifications saying, "Hey, there's only 15 minutes left. You should." Yeah.
So if when they go to the little frame app store and they add the Song a Day app to their to their apps or whatever, then using hooks or whatever, we can send them a little note. That's amazing. Okay, I love that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the place that I got to yesterday essentially was like I don't know what you call this, like what you call the first part of the of the frame. I was calling it like the billboard, like
sure, like the embed.
The embed.
Yeah.
My ideal situation is one in which, like with the Zora links, I just post. I'm able to just post a link to Songaday World. So songaday.world/the song number, and that automatically becomes the embed. And then the embed is this, like this dynamically generated of like the number of days and saying the thing. And then like in tandem with this, I would be posting the song, and then like below the song, we would see the embed, which would say this. It would show the auction time. Then you'd have the option to click on either one of these, and then ideally it opens you up in the app to the page that you clicked on. So you click on bid on the one of one, it brings you to the place where you can bid, or you click on the edition one and it brings you to the edition thing, which is just like a Zora mint. And then I was like, well, I've noticed a lot of the apps have like 4 of these things at the bottom. And so it's like, the 2 other things that are on the website are like an explore page where you can like explore songs, and then like a marketplace where you can buy songs on secondary. I mean, I would say those 2 things are like extra credit or whatever, but like having this ability, I feel like would be really the killer feature for me, is like people being able to bid and mint editions right in the frame.
Nice. And then 2 quick follow-ups I would have is, the site you currently have, is it like mobile responsive already? Like, can you use it on your phone? And then do you have the code for that? Because if you have the code and it is like a React Next.js app, it should take us only a couple minutes to already make that a V2 frame.
Wow.
And then most of the time we can spend on like the generating the banner image to look how you want it to.
Well, okay. So good. The good thing is I do believe it is. I don't know like 100%. But I did yesterday, in the process of what I was attempting to do, I did like download. Oh, here it is. I'm going to put it in the folder that I'm trying to do. I did download the repo of my website yesterday. I have a dev who does my site for me, Alan. Shout out alanparty.eth. Nice. It was really great. And so I did download that because I spent a whole time yesterday like trying to figure out how to make like an API for my site, because I thought I was gonna need like an API that we could call to get all the info. Like, so that's what I spent a large part of yesterday doing. But let me share my. Oh no, what I need is a window, which is this. Okay. So here's my cursor, and I did just put the repo in there. So this is the repo for Songaday.world. Do I need to make this bigger? Can you guys see that?
I can see it.
I can make it a little bit bigger too. So I just have a folder up here, like Songaday frame, and then in that folder I put the this repo from my website. It is, it does look fine on mobile. It works and everything. So yeah. Let's go, I guess. Is there anything that you need to see here, or like, what do we do?
It looks like everything's well set up. Looks like you're using Next.js App Router, which is my preferred stack, which is great. Could you maybe find one thing? Could you go to the search thing and just search WogMe so we can see if you have a WogMe connector? That would probably be the only thing. Oh, could you go to that WogMe provider in the providers?
Like this?
I think that's all. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Great. So essentially, all we're gonna I'll show you in a second, but what we're gonna do is there's a Farcaster WAGMI package, and that config that you're importing, the WAGMI config, we can add the Farcaster frame wallet identifier essentially to that config. And then just like right now, when you go to your website, it'll pop up Rainbow Kit or whatever. When
Right.
someone logs into the V2 frame, if they're already logged in with a wallet on Farcaster, you'll just get that connection immediately. And if not, it will trigger them getting
Wow.
that connection.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay.
So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
So maybe the first place we can start is installing some packages. So let me, if you go to the terminal, perfect.
Yeah.
Let me get the name of the packages just exactly. So you could do npm install, and then at Farcaster slash frame dash SDK. And then after that, you can do, or we'll just do one at a time, actually. It's fine. Okay, nice. And then you can do npm install at Farcaster slash frame dash WAGMI dash connector. I think it's ER. Oh, sorry. No, you got it right. You got it right. My bad.
Connector.
Yes. my grammar there.
That's
okay,
cool. That's like Worf in season 1 of Star Trek Next Generation. He says sensors. He always says like,
Yeah.
Captain, the sensors are connector. Okay.
Exactly. Okay, cool. So now we got to go back to that config. So if you go to that config WAGMI file, like if you just like click over config, it should take you there. Config WAGMI. You just had it.
Is it in?
Yes.
Oh, I see. WAGMI TS. I see.
Yeah.
This one. Okay.
Cool. All right, and then let's see what they have going on here. At the top, maybe like right before or right after that, do import or after the Rainbow Kit like after line 5 maybe.
Okay.
Do import and then open bracket Farcaster frame and then like capital on the second F from that package. So from at Farcaster outside of the bracket again. And then quote.
Is that right?
No, but it's good that it's trying.
It's trying. It's trying.
Yeah, it's trying.
So it's at
Farcaster. It's the second one, the frame WAGMI connector.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. And then if we go all the way down, great. So do we have a connectors in the config? We don't. Okay, so after chains,
yeah,
could you make exactly what Cursor just did,
what
actually.
it wants you to do, yeah.
Yes, perfect. So basically, that's going to add the Farcaster frame as one of our WAGMI connectors, which should do hopefully what I was describing in terms of auto connecting. So the funny thing is, if this all goes well, we should really have 3 steps left. So the first step is we have to tell the Farcaster frame that we're ready, which we'll do in a second. Okay. The second one is you have to generate this little verification code, which is easy with the Warpcast mobile app. And then the third one is we just go and test that it works. So let's go. So maybe the first, if you go to components, if you go to app, could you make a new file and then call it frame-provider.tsx?
Frame-provider.tsx?
Yeah. And then I'm going to get you this file from this is probably going to be the only time where we copy paste, but
Okay.
I'm just going to give you this generic file from the Farcaster example.
Okay.
And I'll also tell you what it does, but it is essentially like in order to make sure that there's like nothing bad happening, there's like a connection between our app and the Farcaster like little browser that's going on.
Yeah.
And so when the app loads, we can tell Farcaster, hey, this app is ready to show now.
Huh.
And while it's loading our app, there's a little like splash screen icon that we can show in the meantime.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
Sorry, 1 second. Just getting the file. Frame provider. All right. Get the chat.
Okay. I will copy this file from there, paste it there.
Okay. You can remove, if you want, you can remove line 4, and then we'll do something else. It's like, I think it's throwing a little error. So
Okay.
if you remove that, and then on line 7 or on all those lines, instead of instead of react.use state, just like remove the react dot part. And then if you start rewriting use state, it should come up in your autocomplete to just re-import it. Oh, it's not coming up. That's weird. So what you could do is then after import SDK on line 4.
Yeah.
Into import. Okay, yeah, what it's auto completing to do. Perfect. And then you can just remove on line 9 the react dot, and then the same on line 6. And then can you add a React node as well to the brackets?
Up here?
Like with the, yeah. React node. And then one more thing on line 20, instead of the little brackets, can you just make that a div? And then the closing one div? And then if we save, okay, that'll be fine for now. If that keeps throwing an error, we can go back to it. But essentially, we'll wrap our app in this just like we wrap it in the WAGMI provider. And then all that's happening is if everything properly loads, like if the Farcaster V2 frame loads, then we want to tell Warpcast or Farcaster, like, hey, show our app, please. And this is just like their little requirement for us having to do that, essentially.
Okay.
So now if we go back into that providers.tsx file that we were just in, maybe right after RainbowKit provider.
Yeah.
You can import, there we go, frame provider. And then we can use it right after RainbowKit provider in the providers.
Down here?
Yeah.
What it's suggesting, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah, what it's suggesting. Cool. What's the error it's throwing on the frame provider on line 4? Oh, maybe remove the curly brackets from line 4.
Remove
I think we made it a default export. Yeah, or the curly braces, but just for line 4.
Like that?
Cool. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, what's it?
Or this one?
Oh. Property children is missing in type, but required. No, we have children. That should be fine. I think we're just getting weird TS-lint errors today, but that's okay. I think you may be having an extra space as well on line 4 with if you hit tab.
Up here.
I think after frame provider. There we go. Okay, that should be good now. And then the next thing here is going to require one little mobile step on your phone.
Yep.
So I guess I'll just have to guide since we can't share it. But
yeah,
if you go into the Warpcast app
Yeah.
You'll be able to enable this developers toggle in the settings.
Okay. Settings.
Yeah, if you go in settings under advanced, there should be developer.
Okay. Push notifications, in-app notifications, email.
I think maybe there's a different settings. It should be the settings like on this little hamburger menu next to your name.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, you see
Advanced.
all the way down there. Or do you see developers right before advanced, or is it not there?
No? It says fees, data usage.
Okay, then go back to advanced actually.
Manage connected apps. Oh, there we go. Developer mode. I got it. Developer mode. Boom.
Great. Let's go. Let's go. Perfect. And now if you go back, you should see a developer tab under advanced.
Yep.
Great. And then hit domains.
Oh, domains. Okay.
And then type in like just the your domain name.com.
Okay.
And then
world in this case.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah. And then hit generate domain manifest with the little check mark. And it will copy something to your clipboard that you can like put in Apple Notes or whatever, and we'll host it somewhere on the website as like a little verification that's yours.
It's like everything's like grayed out. Do I?
Does it let you type in the?
Oh, there we go. Oh, I see. That didn't read as a. Do I put HTTP and all that?
No, just like the name.world.
Okay. Songaday.world. And I say generate domain manifest.
Yeah.
Manifest copied. Okay, and then I put that. I need to get that to my computer so I can put it there.
Yeah.
I'll text it to myself. Okay. Ding, ding, dong. Domain manifest. Okay, so then where do I put that here?
Okay, great. So then in app, we need to make a new folder, and we need to call that folder .well-known.
Okay.
And then inside of there, we need to make a second folder and call that farcaster.json.
Okay.
And then make a file in there called route.ts in the farcaster.json.
Am I in that now? If it's like this, that was confusing.
I think so. We'll see in a second. Yeah, I think so.
What is it called?
Route.ts.
Route.ts.
Cool. Yeah, we're in there. And then so before we paste that in, do export async function get. You can remove the request part though.
Okay.
They just do empty brackets. And then empty
parentheses.
Sorry, empty parentheses and then brackets.
That.
And then you can do and then inside of the brackets, you can write like const config equals and then hit paste on, or maybe hit space to make a new line and like open up the brackets a little bit.
Like that?
Or like, enter and just like create a new line.
Oh, I see.
Sure. Const. And then, const frame equals. And then just hit paste before that bracket. I think we have a duplicate bracket.
Yeah.
Nice. And then we'll change the images. The images are going to be and then you can hit tab and do what it says, the autofill. And then instead of next response, just do response. And that is built in. Cool. So this means that on your website at songadayman.world/wellknown/farcaster.json, this JSON will live. And this is basically their way of identifying that the app is coming from you, a verified developer. And then when someone opens the app, it will say the app by your Farcaster username because you just like verified it with the domain like that. So, great. Do you happen to have like Vercel or anything connected that you're publishing your website with?
I don't, but I mean, I do have a Vercel. Here, this is what I was telling my developer the other day. I've actually not done any like pushing to Git or doing like, you know, doing anything Vercel wise. Like everything has been local for me so far. I've yet to, I don't know. That feels it's probably sounds very funny, but it's like it feels like a big step. It was like actually making that leap. But yes, we do have a Vercel. That's where it's hosted, so it's there. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Maybe sweet man, to show something, maybe you think we should use like ngrok?
That's a great idea. Keep it local, use ngrok. If we use ngrok, can we test it right now so that we can just see if it's at least working?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Yeah.
Nice. All right, so I'll send you the link to ngrok. It takes like 2 minutes to download and make an account for, but basically it will give you like a very simple domain so that you can run like localhost 3000 and it will give you like a public domain so that so now that we've made this like verification with Farcaster, they need to like approve it. And so what I was going to say is normally we would like push it to the domain, but ngrok will like give us a little temporary one so we can at least make sure everything's working, and then changing out that is pretty simple.
I was using ngrok yesterday, so I have it.
Oh.
It's here.
Okay, great. So I think you just need to do ngrok, or maybe could you open like 2 separate terminals if you hit the plus next to nice. Yeah. And then in one of them run, maybe just like do another npm install.
Yeah.
And then run npm run dev.
So npm install.
And then you can do like ampersand. And then npm run dev. Oh, maybe it's start. Can you go to your package.json really quickly? Should be in the root, like all the way at the bottom. Oh.
Next start.
Oh, you know what? I think we accidentally installed. Wait, could you run pwd in there really quickly? I think we're in the wrong folder.
Oh yeah.
In the terminal.
Oh yeah.
So could you run
because we want to be in this we want to be in the Song a Day World main.
Yes.
Want to be like in the repo.
That's why. Okay, so if you go in, you can just do cd.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then we need to reinstall those packages.
Right.
So
the packages we did earlier.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay. Oh no. Oh wait.
I can also just rewrite it if you want to.
Yeah, I think I might have to. npm. What were they?
Here, I'll send it over to.
Okay.
Can install Farcaster frame WAGMI connector.
Connector.
I know. I got to remember that one.
Okay. Copy that.
Sweet man. So you haven't made a V2 frame yet?
Nope. I'm writing down the steps you're showing right now. What I've got so far is I'll modify my WAGMI config. I will then add a frame provider, which I'll copy and paste. After that is where we're at right now. We're just trying to run it, or did I miss a step writing it down? Step 1, update the WAGMI config. Step 2, get your frame provider in. Wrap the app, obviously, in that provider. And was there another step after that that I didn't write down before?
There was the route TS, the manifest.
Yeah. So that's step 3, which is the domain account association, which is this .wellknown/Farcaster. And then the last step we're going to have is the actual little frame embed, like showing it. And that's basically you know how like on your layout you can set metadata. In metadata for the FC:frame tag, we set little JSON, and that's like, hey, when the actual embed shows what's the image, what text do you want on the button, and then from there, we should be good. I even like the cool thing. There was this demo where Horsefax converted all of Uniswap to a frame.
That's awesome.
If you try that again, could you just do -- force at the end, like space -- force?
Oh, okay, yeah.
One question I had, well, I'll wait till we get over this, but I did have a question. You able to see, should I move our photos so that you can see what's going on, Bill?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great, actually.
I can also move it up too. I mean,
oh, nice.
Is that better or is that worse because you can't see it now?
here, I'll just move it up. You can put it back and then I'll move it. Oh, that's probably better. Here, I can move it to the. That seemed to work, right?
This looks good to me.
Yes. Yeah. We're good. We're good. Nice. Okay, so now in one of these, you can just run npm run dev. I think you have to go back in the CD here. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. npm run dev. Okay, and then this one will do that, and that's running the site, and then now we're gonna run the frame.
Or that's running the site and the frame, and now we'll run ngrok, which is really just like a link so that we can test with Warpcast if it works well.
Right. Okay.
So now it's just ngrok -http. Sorry, space after ngrok. We don't need the dash yet. HTTP, and then localhost :3000. Great. And then
link, right?
Yeah, maybe just copy paste it and make sure that it's working in the browser or something.
Okay. So one thing that I noticed about this is that because I'm not paying for ngrok, and I also balked at like how much it costs. It's like $18 a month. It brings you to like a interstitial page. So yes, it does appear to be working.
Oh, great.
But I was wondering, does the interstitial page, would that affect our ability to test it or no?
No, it shouldn't affect it. Okay. A lot of people use ngrok as their.
Got it.
So then if you on your phone, if you paste this ngrok link in your notes app or whatever, we'll basically just need to do that same domain verification thing, but with this link without the HTTPS instead of the songaday.world.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you're saying, I say we need to tell Farcaster that this is like an okay thing, like we're connected. I see. I think I get it.
Yeah. So then hopefully the only thing that you and your developer should have to do after this is just redo the verification and then just push it up and
redo the verification with the real website, and then
yes,
I get it.
Yeah.
So I'm generating another domain manifest for this.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, manifest copied. Putting in my notes app. And then I go back here and I go to route.
And then you can just paste the whole object, like
But it goes here, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Like that.
Perfect. And then now, if you hit save, are you still on that page in Warpcast? You can just hit like check status button.
Oh, okay, yeah. Check domain status.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yep. Verified.
Let's go. Awesome. Great. Cool. All right. So now we will do the last step, which is actually showing the frame. So if you go into a layout.tsx,
Is that? Oh, I see it.
cool. And then after open graph, like on line 19,
Yeah.
write other, and then or on line 20, you like enter,
Yeah.
I guess, and then other colon and open up a little bracket like that. And then kind of like that, like you can hit the cursor tab button, and then instead of Farcaster dash frame, call it FC colon frame. And then let me just double check what data we need in here. So, okay, so first, just remove the 3 that are in there for now, like name, icon, home URL. Do a version colon next as a string. These are all going to be like in parentheses.
Oh.
The answers will be in parentheses.
In quotes.
Or sorry, in quotes. My bad. I'm messing up my English today. And then after version, let's do image URL, like image and then capital U. And just do empty quotes right now, and we'll find the right image URL right after this. I assume you probably have one in Open Graph. And then do a comma after image URL.
Oh, yeah.
We're good. I don't know. Sometimes we're trying to do too much with the auto. And then do a button, and then open up a new object for button, like a new brackets. Like button colon brackets.
Oh, colon.
And then new line, like enter. And then title. Colon. And maybe you want to call it, this is what people see on the button when they open it. So
oh, yeah.
View website, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I would say something like bid on the 1 of 1 or something.
Okay. And then after that, let's do action colon. And then open a new object again, like brackets. Okay, and then enter, and then do type colon, and then for the string, or for we're gonna do launch underscore frame, or sorry, launch underscore.
Oh, underscore.
And then still lowercase. Yeah, okay, cool. And then after type, we have name. So just name colon, and then song a day world. Oh, I think you need a comma after the type.
Oh, yeah.
After launch. Yeah. Then after name. And then we'll have URL. So for URL, you can just put the URL to your website. Like in this case, put the ngrok URL.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Nice. And then, okay, we only have 3 more. So afterwards, do icon image URL, and then like capital I in image, capital U in URL. Oh, sorry, no, sorry. So the whole thing should just be called icon image URL.
Oh.
And then just do an empty string for now. We'll decide in a second.
Okay.
And then the same for splash image URL. And then splash background color.
Do we need the webhook URL thing?
No, we don't need the webhook. And then for splash background color, you can just put hashtag and then 6 Fs for now, and that's just white. And then could you see how on line 11 it says import open graph? If you hit open graph with 2 fingers, it should take you right to or if you click on it, maybe, does it say like view definition? I guess not.
Oh, wait, go to definition?
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Could you just copy that link up there, the song a day world / generated? Cool. And then if you go back to the layout.
Yeah.
for all of the empty strings, just put it there for now. And if it looks off, then we can fix it. But it's just a placeholder.
Yeah.
Okay, and then before we do the object, like you see how FC frame : wrap the whole thing in. So right before the first bracket on line 21.
Yeah.
Do JSON dot like uppercase JSON dot stringify. Yeah, exactly what it's. And then for the last one on line 35, where it has the tab.
Yeah.
And then just hit enter.
It
Perfect.
needs that. Yeah. That little closing.
Great.
Got it.
And then that should be it. Let's see. Is there still an error in WAGMI.ts? Looks red. Maybe go down.
Connectors.
What's the error? Object literal may only know specific properties. That's okay. If that keeps throwing an error, then we can go back to it. But I think that should be fine for now. So now what we could do is we can test this on web.
Oh, okay.
So if you open your browser.
Yeah, here, I'll share. Let's just for the sake of seeing if it works.
Yeah.
So you guys
Great.
can see that, right? Okay.
Yeah, I will send you a link that is basically the place to test if a frame works on WordCast.
Oh, right. I know this. I know this link. I know this link well. I've spent many an hour trying to get this to work. Okay, so now I take the ngrok
Put it in that
link.
first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the preview frame embed URL.
Right here.
Yep. And then hit preview. Okay, nice. There we go. Been on the one of one.
That's working.
We'll open it.
Jesus Christ.
There we go.
Jesus Christ. There's
the website.
That is insane.
Dang.
That is insane.
42
and then
minutes
the further
to go from 0 to frames.
That's crazy. Oh, look, and your wallet's connected. jman.eth at the top.
Yeah, yeah. That is wild. It says, for some reason, it says that the auction isn't running. That could be.
I think it's just local, like connecting to the data for that.
Yeah,
maybe.
right.
Yeah.
It's like not actually like querying whatever it needs to query. But yeah, no, that's insane. Wow. That's nuts.
Amazing. So yeah, anyone out there who, because I think a lot of people in crypto and Ethereum use like the React stack. So if you use WAGMI, you can just add it into your existing setup and just get extra distribution for your app. I think it's killer.
It's so easy. That's like so much easier than like what I was imagining.
Nice.
So does this have in it, like by default, that manifest thing that we added? Is that have the benefit of the thing that where I wanted, where like, can I just post a link to a song now, or is that something else that we would have to add? So the idea being that I could post like, you know, the way that the songs on the site work is like songaday.world/5882. That's like, that brings you to song 5882, obviously. And the dream that I would have would be that I could just post that link to the thing, and then we would get the correct frame. We would get the frame for that automatically.
Yeah. We don't have it set up yet, but it takes another like minute to set up, so we can do it. Totally. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Nice.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy.
And then you can customize, like one of the things we didn't go over is like, there's this one, you can like, we use the same image here for everything.
Yeah.
Like the icon image URL value.
Yeah.
That's like the little app icon everyone will see. So you can like customize that as you want, but just as like a placeholder to get us up, that worked.
No, that's great. And I mean, I actually
Nice.
already, I think in one of the other test runs that I did with Cursor, I got it to the point where it was like generating the just like on the fly HTML of like whatever day I was on that day. It said, you know, this is song a day, this or whatever.
Perfect.
And so what you're saying is I could put that there.
Yes.
And then that's what would show up. Yeah, that's great.
Exactly. Yeah. But what you could do is, if you go, I'm sure you have like a file in the code base for where the new song lives. That same little thing we just did in the layout with the JSON.stringify, we'll just do on the file for the particular song, essentially.
Oh, I see. That would be the step for like how to get it to be the song.
Yeah.
When you post the link. I see.
We've got 15 minutes left.
Okay.
I think we've got your frame working. Let's check in on the original goal. Our goal was to go from 0 to frames v2 in 60 minutes. Mr. Mann, how do you feel about progress on achieving that goal?
I feel like it's crazy that well, it's interesting. I'll say this because I think I was right in that here's what I actually think about Cursor and the reason I wasn't able to do it. What Cursor is so good at is like very basic things, but Cursor has no knowledge, you know, whoever you're using in Cursor, whichever LLM, it has no knowledge whatsoever of V2. So, and barely, I think, has any knowledge of frames at all. So it has to do all this inferring for you about like how it works and stuff. And it infers completely wrong, you know, about everything about this. And so, you know, I was like pasting all of the API documentation like into the Cursor rules and like telling it to look again. And this was so much simpler. And I do feel like you're right, Dylan, like I keep thinking about like Matt Shame or something, like thinking about his frames. They could do this in an afternoon. How easy this is to get something up and running it's much easier than I realized. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Awesome.
I think in some ways what you just took us through, Dylan, I think should be a standalone tutorial somewhere of take your existing Next website, you know, that I think that should be a standing tutorial somewhere that I think a lot of people would get use out of.
Do they have a doc like that for like update your Next.js app into a frame v2?
There isn't a doc. I will say like Horsefacts, who's like one of the drivers and creators of Frames, does a great job. Like when Frames came out, He did all these live streams, like the Uniswap thing. But it would be helpful to just have an actual document because like people would benefit. And as I was saying, like a lot of people use the same stack. So if they're like, hey, I can just copy paste XYZ and I'm done, like, you know, game over. So definitely agree.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's nuts. The notifications thing too, like I haven't actually built one yet that uses the notifications, but I think that's like such a killer retention.
Oh, totally. Loop. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So in the last 12 minutes, is there anything else we want to build out, or are we happy with the progress that you've made? You can run on your own after this and we start getting into wrap up zone. What are your thoughts?
I'd love to see if we could get just the link, like the link posting part in.
Yeah.
If that's
we can so do that. Yeah. Let's do it.
And then we can wrap up.
Cool.
Can you guys see my screen still?
No, I just now I can. Yeah. Okay. So all right, let's figure out where this is. So maybe let's go to like song a day in brackets in app.
Oh, in app. Oh, I see.
Like that one. Okay. So maybe song. I'm just trying to find the file for the song. So,
yeah.
Oh, is that it? Song number where you just take or
it might be, yeah. /page.
Probably is that, yeah. Okay, sure. Go back to that layout page actually. And then go to the other layout we were just in, like at the end of your tabs.
Oh, down here.
And then the whole other part, just copy paste it for now. Like
This part?
like if in the layout, like the whole part that says other starting on line
Oh, I see.
starting on line 20.
I see.
Yeah.
This
To
whole thing.
36.
To 36.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I see.
Great.
And then that.
And then just paste it after description on line 11. Like on the next line, yeah. And then, so on line 21.
Yeah.
That change it from double quotes to the like this kind of quote, like the apostrophe essentially.
Oh, okay.
It's the back tick in the top left of your keyboard.
Oh yeah, which is different. Which is different, like that.
And then do exactly what cursor is yes.
Except so yeah, okay.
So that will mean when someone clicks the button for this frame, it's going to take them to the song.
Yeah. Oh, rad. Okay.
And then that should be it.
That's great.
Yeah.
So the steps for me then next are I replace the ngrok in these layout things with my obviously like my website, and then I want to change the image URL to this dynamically generating thing that I want to do, which I think I basically understand how to do, and I'll just ask you if I don't, and then. Yeah, and then that's basically it. And the frame is essentially done at that point. That's crazy. Then that has everything that I was looking for.
Can we test real quick that this does work on the song that we're choosing to present in the frame validator in your browser?
Yeah. So what I would do is I would take this. And we could put song number 3, let's say.
And I think we're only seeing your cursor right now.
Oh, right. And then let me switch that. Go back to that is.
And we just got the Jesse repost, so numbers are shooting up by 100 every couple seconds.
Oh, jeez.
Let's go.
Okay. So ideally, this takes us to song of day number 3, which I just did. That's incredible.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's it.
So it is working. It was that easy. Just
yeah,
a new layout, new metadata. Everything works right out of the box.
Just here's song of day 5000, which Sweet Man was in. Wow, that's wild. That is absolutely wild.
Let's go.
Yeah, so I can just tell you guys really quick too, like just sort of as an aside, I have what's called like the Song a Day toolkit, which is my back end. Sweet Man, I think I've shown you this before. It's like my back end. Oops, I'm sharing the wrong screen. This is how I post my song every day, is I use this toolkit that my dev and some other devs originally made for me when Song a Day World was first launched. And it used to be basically the way that I would do it is I would fill out my spreadsheet, which is its own beast. Here, I want to share entire screen. There we go. This is what my spreadsheet looks like. Maybe. And each day, oh my God, I have too many screens and they're all being annoying. Wait, so here's the spreadsheet. So each day I fill out the spreadsheet with all of the data of that day's song. And it used to work that I would paste the data here from the spreadsheet, which would generate, it used to generate also an image and metadata. Then I would go to my upload to IPFS page where I'd upload the image, the video, the audio, the metadata, and I would get one final metadata hash that like is all of the stuff of the song. And then I would go over here to auctions, which I start the auction. And here I also actually send a hypersub subscribers, and I actually have, I post on this site called Drip on Solana now too. But it was many steps. It was like many steps. And so what I actually did for myself is literally using Cursor, I created a new page, which is just called Upload Song, where now all I do is I post the stuff, and all I do is I just upload the video, and it does everything else. It does all the posting to IPFS for me. It uploads to YouTube for me. It uploads to Twitter for me, to Blue Sky. And with this, then the thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to have it also post automatically to Farcaster, where the video will post, and it'll post the link below the video, and then it'll just, boom, it'll already be there. I won't have to ever think about it. And that just saves me like an incredible amount of time, cumulatively every single day of doing this stuff. But yeah, without having this frame piece in place, it was like, it wasn't really worth, because there's also another thing about Farcaster, which is videos don't work the same way on Farcaster as they do everywhere else. So it's like a little bit more complicated. It's not just like calling the API, but now that I have the frame, it's like it's going to make like such a huge difference. This was incredibly helpful.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. That was great.
Yeah.
That was a cool little tool too.
Yeah. No, I know. I've been telling Sweetman, like, I want to productize it and like just give it away to people to be able to use, like if it seems useful.
Nice.
We're at 57 minutes. We've got are we good for wrap up time now?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. We had a total of 878 people tune in. So if you tuned in, please click the like, subscribe, reshare this so that more people can see how to put their websites onto Frames so that more creatives can stay independent. I'd love to get like a last minute kind of reflection or next steps from each of you. Maybe we start with the Shepherd, Dylan. Any reflections on this session, seeing what it's like for a musician who is not classically trained as a coder, building their first frame? Do you have any reflections on this session from what you're seeing of how we built out a Frame V2?
Yeah, well, it was great to work with you both on this, and I was really glad that we were able to do it that quickly. It's a testament to how V2 frames are set up. I think with all of this, even just like getting on all these calls, it's a continual thing of educating. Like, who knows how long it's going to be for Cursor and all these other tools to get it. Hopefully, we'll get to that point. But like, the more you have these aha moments where someone's like, "Oh crap!" Like, it really just take like a couple minutes or whatever, and it ups the distribution that I get. Then those are great moments, and like everyone succeeds when we see that. So I want to just like keep figuring out the best ways to get that out to people, and really glad to see you kind of take it and run from here with V2 frames.
I would not have been able to help Song a Day Man get through this without you here, because I have zero experience. So thank you for teaching me. And on your side, Song a Day Man, as a musician, I don't know how many of these pair programming sessions you've had, but from where you were yesterday or whenever you left the comment saying, how can I get started with frames, to where you're at now, what's changed? And if you're talking to yourself, or if another musician who is in a similar place to you is hitting the same walls, what kind of advice would you have given to yourself 24 hours ago to any other musician that is watching this and wants to emulate what you've just accomplished?
Yeah, well, just thanks again, Sweetman and Dylan. Nice to meet you, Dylan, and I hope we can all hang out at ETHDenver if we're all going to be there.
Yes,
and also totally. shout out to Horsefax for all of this. He's somebody that I've gotten to know just at ETHDenver in passing over the years, which has been really nice. Yeah, like this has been great, Sweetman. I've never actually really done pair programming like this. I think it's super informative. There's you know, it's kind of it's a very much like a going from not knowing how much I don't know to just starting to scratch the surface of realizing how much I don't know, of like starting to know how much I don't know, because through all the times of working with Cursor, I don't know what the fuck Cursor is doing, like most of the time, but I also, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm sort of intuiting a little bit what Cursor is doing, especially in Python, because that's like where I've spent most of the time, is making these Python scripts. And then when I go over into this land, I'm like, I'm pretty lost. And it was so informative to like, even just like all the little things about the curly brackets, like just little things of like starting to understand, you know, starting to very much understand what I don't know. And I would say I probably should have asked for help on this sooner. That would probably be my advice is, you know, amazingly, Sweetman, like connecting me with someone like Dylan, who's sort of, you know, an expert in this field. That I think is that's a huge boon. And but yeah, I would also just reiterate, I do think like a lot of people like me, the people you've been working with, Sweetman, for instance, given a tutorial walking through just a simple step-by-step tutorial of walking through these steps, I actually think I could do it. I could do that given, you know, given the limited familiarity I have. I think like I am at a place where I could walk myself through that, and I think that's really killer. So this was great. I really appreciate it, and yeah, would love to do it again. Next time I'll just come asking for help much sooner, hopefully.